All right, so welcome again, John, to the Zoom room. Nice to see you again. So, so let you know, this one is going to be live streaming. I was going to do it yesterday. I'm not doing YouTube much anymore, but just once a week.
Okay.
To give people something. So, yeah, I thought let's just have a look at our lesson for today. I'll share my screen quickly and let's do a lesson for a change, because you normally do the text, don't you?
I'm quite happy either way. I mean, the lesson's quite interesting today, actually.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah. All the lights and miracles. Okay, so where's that email gone? Okay, here we go. Let's just blow it up a bit. Okay. Share my screen. All right. So if you want to read the quote.
Where there is no struggle, there is no strength.
Oprah.
Who
She's quite an inspirational lady. I don't know if you know her story, but she faced some severe struggles in her life. She was born into a very poor family in the deep south of the US and had to really raise herself up to where she is in life today.
He had joke on there and he stuffs absolutely anything.
Dad, you're being recorded. Okay, so just she's born into a poor family and she really had to raise herself up. So the quote's a good reminder of the purpose of our struggles in life. Help us learn to let go of our own blocks, to the awareness of the light that exists beyond this world, and tap into the strength that comes from the awareness of who we truly are. So it's always a good quote to remember, because life has challenges. Everyone gets challenged. If you're tempted to become discouraged, depressed, downhearted by your life situation, because it's what I like about this quote and also the lesson is it makes the connection between light or true awareness and strength that lies within you, beyond the negative thoughts and emotions your ego or belief in separation is trying to justify through the obstacles it's invented. So that brings us today, a very short teaching today, and we'll just dive into our lesson, shall we? So 92. All right, you want to read that in the original and the alternative, and we'll go through the text in the same way.
Miracles are seen in light, and light and strength are one. Alternatively, I perceive corrections in true awareness, and my true awareness is the source of my strength.
Yeah, so just translated, light is true awareness, miracles are corrections, and true awareness is light and strength are one, or true awareness is the source of my strength. I thought make it quite explicit in the translation.
It does, yeah.
So okay, the idea, so number one.
The idea for today is an extension of the previous one. You do not think of light in terms of strength and darkness in terms of weakness. I do not think of true awareness in terms of strength and limited awareness in terms of weakness. That is because your idea of what seeing means is tied up with the body and its eyes and brain. That is because my idea of what seeing means is tied up with the body and its eyes and brain. Thus, you believe that you can change what you see by putting little bits of glass before your eyes. Therefore, I believe that I can change what I see by putting little bit of glass before my eyes. This is among the many magical beliefs that come from the conviction you are a body and the body's eyes can see. This is among the many magical beliefs that come from the conviction that I am a body and the body's eyes can see.
Okay, so what's he saying there in summary?
It's saying that we are frequently lost in what we believe to be the world, but in actual fact, that's because we believe we are a body, and it's that whole concept that's keeping us back from seeing, from realizing our true awareness, from coming into true awareness, which actually is our strength, because true awareness is clarity, and clarity connects us to strength, the power of God.
Oh, very well said. He's making fun a little bit of some of these beliefs, putting little bits of glass before your eyes. I mean, you wear glasses, so it's don't take it personally. But he's saying to you, he's saying to you, this is part of the whole construct. It's all a construct of belief, which has got so entrenched that these laws seem to apply. You put little bits of glass before your eyes, and then you see better. It's all, but the belief has got hard-wired, hard-coded into a body and a world that now seems to be real and outside of you. But he's asking us to question all of that and say that recognize that it's all false. Magical beliefs come from the conviction you are a body and the body's eyes can see. So magic, the body's eyes, that whole domain of body senses and perception is illusion, is what he's saying. So that beyond that lies a deeper truth, and that's where your strength comes from. Okay. Happy with number one?
Yeah. Number two. You also believe that the body's brain can think. I also believe the body's brain can think. If you but understand the nature of thought, you could but laugh at this insane idea. If I understood the nature of thought, I could only laugh at this insane idea.
Which this is commonly accepted, isn't it? This idea is a basis of neuroscience, and many so-called highly intelligent people believe that actually our consciousness originates in our brain. That's the scientific materialist paradigm, which demonstrated quite well here. Let's go back to the integral model. So in scientific materialism, they believe, this insane belief, that somehow the brain, the body, is responsible for consciousness. So it's completely the other, inverted from reality.
Mm.
The truth is that the brain and the body are a product of consciousness, the consciousness of the ego, the idea of separation. They are the manifest effect of a belief in separation, the product of that consciousness, which Yeshua says is correctly identified as the domain of the ego. That consciousness which believes in separation is the consciousness, universal consciousness, that has produced the body, the world, sense perceptions, the whole domain that we seem to live in. So consciousness is responsible for it, and therefore, by changing our consciousness or our mind, we can get out of it. That's really the crux of the matter. If you think that your consciousness is a product of the brain, then there's no way to really change much, is there? Well, I can change my mind, but it's a product of the brain. When my brain dies, my body dies, and that's it. The problem with that argument is that there's no evidence to support it. None whatsoever. In fact, all the evidence goes in the other direction. You look at near-death experiences, for example. They have measured the ECG activity in people's brains upon death, and it all stops within about 15 seconds of death. Zero activity in the brain. They can't measure anything, and yet that person goes away. That person is having an experience, and they bring them back a few minutes later, and they talk to them afterwards and go, well, wow, I had this whole experience, and this is what I was seeing. And there's no measurable brain activity, but they had an experience. So then clearly the brain is not responsible for consciousness. That evidence is pretty clear. In the same way, you wouldn't be able to have things like astral travel being possible, or people have out-of-body experiences where they leave their body. That's quite common. And they can actually see themselves. Their awareness is outside their body, and they can see themselves. So they're outside of their body and their brain, but they have some awareness. So the evidence just doesn't support this idea that the body and the brain are responsible for consciousness. In fact, it supports completely the opposite. And Rupert Sheldrake, he's criticized science as it is, says, well, this is no better than religion. It's a dogma then. If you believe in it and the evidence doesn't support it, there's no difference from that and a religion that has all these dogmatic beliefs which are not provable, are not justifiable. There's no proof for them. Of course, the scientists take umbrage at that, but he's right. So they've systematically ignored evidence that shows the contrary, that actually the brain and the body are a product of consciousness and are independent of the brain. You can have consciousness without a brain, hence the near-death experiences, out-of-body experiences, and so on. Okay, let me carry on.
I also believe, okay, it is God's strength in you that is the light in which you see, as it is his mind with which you think. His strength denies your weakness. Let's just go back to the alternative.
Yeah.
Scroll down, Jono.
Scroll up, you mean? The original.
We're on 3 now, aren't we?
No, we didn't finish 2.
Oh, did we not?
If you thought you held the match. Sorry.
Oh, okay, 3. It is as if you thought you held the match that lights the sun and gives it all its warmth, or that you held the world within your hand, securely bound until you let it go. Yeah, it is as if I thought I held the match that lights the sun and gives it all its warmth, or that I held the world within my hands, securely bound until I let it go.
We're just giving us examples of other insane, completely ridiculous beliefs, and saying, well, this is This is no more for, okay, carry on, read number 4.
Yet this is no more foolish than to believe the body's eyes can see, the brain can think. Yet this is no more foolish than to believe the body's eyes can see and the brain can think.
Yeah, so what's he saying there? We'll summarize that briefly.
Well, it's just emphasizing that we really are convinced that the body is the center of our universe and it is entirely what we are.
Mm.
And
the illustration is how insane it is, and you're just saying, well, this makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
By giving examples of, if you really believed you held a match that lights the sun, I mean, that's clearly ridiculous. But he's saying that to believe the body's brain can think is on the same scale of ridiculousness. Just so, for many people in this world, more believable, because we're talking about the inner workings. There's no, obviously the physicality of it, of the holding a match to the sun, I mean, clearly makes it ridiculous. But he's saying that it's as ridiculous. It's just it's a crazy belief. Hi, Elaine.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi, John.
So we're just doing the lesson for the day. So do you want to read number 3 for us? We're on to number 3, paragraph 3.
Yep, yeah. It's God's strength in you that is the light in which you see, as it is his mind with which you think. His strength. Oh, we're doing one by one?
Yeah, I do it one by one. Yeah.
It's perfect love's strength in me that is the true awareness in which I perceive, as it is perfect love's awareness with which I think. Yeah. And his strength denies your weakness. Its strength denies my weakness.
So he's talking about strength. Nice lesson, actually, because bringing in another quality that I don't think we've had much of. There's one lesson that was about strength back in lesson 40-something, 43 or something. But it's relating strength now directly to our true awareness.
It is your weakness that sees through the body's eyes, peering about in darkness to behold the likeness of itself, the small, the weak, the sickly and the dying, those in need, the helpless and afraid, the sad, the poor, the starving and the joyless.
It's going to be the same.
The same, yeah.
It is my weakness. So I'm personalizing all of the translations so that it becomes an affirmation.
Yes.
I think that's more powerful.
Right, and these are seen through eyes that cannot see truly and cannot bless.
Let's see, make that active. I see these appearances. Your eyes that cannot see truly and cannot bless. Okay, so what's he saying here in summary of that paragraph?
Well, it's our perfect love strength that will take us to the true awareness. Otherwise, if it's through the body's eyes, then it's peering through a very limited awareness. And of course, these negative things of helplessness, afraid, sad, and all of those will follow.
Mm. And highlighting when we see these appearances and we make them real to ourselves, the small, the weak, the sickly, and the dying, those in need, the helpless and afraid, which, if you want to perceive those things, are in the world for you to perceive, then we're not seeing truly. We cannot see truly, we cannot bless, we're disconnected from our source, from our true awareness, from our strength, and we're seeing an illusion.
Yeah.
Which is pretty
Grim.
Yeah. You look at, and I think you're being tested on this with the kittens, big times at the moment, aren't you?
I'm getting a drama every day. Yeah, drama every day. Yesterday it was the tax. I've had to rush over to the tax office. They'd taken 500 and odd euros from our account. So this morning I had to go there, get another phone call, and my lady who helps me, a woman whose precious cat, she spent a lot of money on, was bolted out of the door and gone.
Right.
So my friend's never slept a wink all night with the worry, because she doesn't know how to confront this lady whose precious cat, which is an expensive Siamese, was bolted out of her house and gone. So she never had a wink of sleep last night. So I have to now come back to the Holy Spirit and ask. And it's come up with, you have to be honest. You have to tell the lady, because she said, I'm not telling her because it would spoil her holiday. And I said, no, I said, be honest.
Yeah.
So there's another drama. It's a drama every day.
We
do a little
instead of calling it a drama, say it's a lesson.
Okay, yes. Well, it's a lesson, yeah. Yeah,
my lesson for today. Okay, so that's good, because we learn from lessons. So when I have lessons,
which I appreciate, you'll all, you'll obviously have your lessons as John and everyone else. Mine's obviously tax and cats.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. So I know I'm not alone. Of course, we all have our
death and the lessons are death and taxes, which is supposedly the permanent illusions of this world. The only thing you can be certain of is death and taxes, and you're confronting both of them.
Yeah. So it's
all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Good lesson. So you can keep centered and,
of course,
stay connected, stay in the joy, find the strength, to deal with these challenges. Like go within, you find the strength to find a way to deal with them. Yeah.
Yeah, my husband's just walked through the door and he's had a lesson. Are you okay, Dave? No, he's in a very stressed mode. I'll put my presence so that will calm him.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so sorry, yes, I'm diverting.
No, that's okay. So it's just highlighting, what the ego's world is.
Yes.
Telling us, this is not a good picture. It doesn't paint a good picture of the ego.
No.
It's one of those stick lessons. Quite a bit of the stick where he's telling us what the ego is.
You take care, David. It's a lesson for you. He's stressed to the hilt. Yeah. Why don't you come to this? Yeah, you've had an awful time. Why don't you join this class, Dave?
Yeah, join us, Dave. We're going to do a meditation.
Say hello to John and Jono.
Hello there.
Hi there.
Hello.
Nice to see you again.
I've just said to Elaine, I am absolutely stressed to the hilt.
Right.
Stuck in London, to be honest, and all the rush hour traffic and trying to park the car impossible. So.
Come and sit down for a minute.
Come on, sit down and enjoy our lovely presence.
I've got to go and.
Oh, you got. Well, after you've been to there you go. You've been invited, Dave.
That's it.
There you go.
Come and join us.
Yeah.
Okay.
See you later, Dave.
Let's go on to number 4, shall we? Strength overlooks, John, you want to read that? Strength overlooks these things.
Strength overlooks these things by seeing past appearances. It keeps its steady gaze upon the light that lies beyond them.
Alternatively,
Strength overlooks these things by perceiving truly past appearances. It keeps its steady gaze upon the pure formless awareness that lies beyond them. It unites with light of which it is a part. It sees itself. It brings the light in which yourself appears.
right?
In-
Alternatively,
Okay, so it unites with pure formless awareness of which it is a part. It perceives itself. It brings the pure formless awareness in which myself appears. In limited awareness, I perceive a self that is not there.
it's in darkness.
In darkness, you perceive a self that is not there. Strength is the truth about you. Weakness is an idol falsely worshipped and adored, that strength may be dispelled. And darkness rule where God pointed that there should be light.
Okay.
Strength is the truth about me. Weakness is a false belief, falsely valued and adored, so that strength may be dispelled. And limited awareness rule where perfect love appointed that there should be pure, limitless awareness. I think he's explaining here why strength is one with light. Because light on an experiential level brings clarity, and once you have clarity, you are strengthened in your commitment, or it kind of strengthens your perception of what reality is. And helps you endure whatever the challenge is. Whereas confusion leads to distraction and lack of clear decision and oscillation between doing one thing or another, which is always weakening.
Oh, and he explains strength in contrast to weakness. So, well, the strength is in contrast to the weakness of the ego, which he's just given us. You know, the sick, the weak, the old, the afraid, the fearful, the starving, the joyless. You know, the strength is the opposite of all of that. So it's certainty. I think that's a key point. It's clarity, it's certainty, and it brings peace and joy. Strength comes from your true self, capital self, or Christ. Okay, happy with that one, Elaine?
Yes, yeah, no, that was very clear.
Cool. Okay, if you want to read number 5 for us.
Strength comes from truth and shines with light its source has given it. Weakness reflects the darkness of its maker. It is sick and looks on sickness.
Alternative, yeah.
Yeah. Strength comes from the truth and shines with pure formless awareness. Its source has given it, while weakness reflects the limited awareness of its maker. It is sick and looks on sickness, which is like itself. It is sick and looks on sickness, which is like itself. Truth is a savior and can only will for happiness and peace for everyone. It gives its strength to everyone who asks in limitless supply. Oh, I've just jumped. Truth will awaken me and can only lead to happiness and peace for everyone. It gives strength to everyone who asks in limitless supply. Yeah. It sees that lack in anyone would be lack in all. It perceives that lack in anyone would be a lack in all. And so it gives its light that all may see and benefit as one. And so it gives its pure formless awareness that all may perceive truly and benefit as one.
Make that in order, shall we?
Its strength is shared, and it may bring to all the miracle in which they will unite in purpose and forgiveness and in love.
Yeah, and then the alternative?
Have you got it working?
No, not yet.
Its strength is shared so that it may bring to all the correction in which they will unite in purpose, which is letting go and loving.
Okay, so any want to summarize that?
Well, the strength is from the truth in us, and that's what shines through, while weakness it reflects our limited awareness. The same with sick. If you look on sickness, and which is like itself, yeah. Well, the truth will awaken us all and lead us to the happiness and peace for everyone. And its strength is shared and bring the miracle or correction. And we all unite and let go. And that's where it is, where the true self is.
Oh. Pointing us within and saying it's limitless. There's limitless, infinite strength, power within us, and we just need to claim it. Okay, happy with number 5?
Yes.
John, number 6?
Weakness which looks in darkness cannot see a purpose in forgiveness and in love. It sees all others different from itself and nothing in the world that it would share. It judges and condemns, but does not love. In darkness it remains to hide itself and dreams that it is strong and conquering. A victor over limitations that but grow in darkness. to enormous size. Weakness, which looks in limited awareness, cannot perceive a purpose in letting go and love. It perceives all others different from itself and nothing in the world that it wants to share. It judges and condemns but does not love. In limited awareness, it remains to hide itself and dreams that it is strong and conquering. A victor over limitations that only grow with limited awareness to enormous time.
Okay, I'm going to give a summary of that. What's he saying here?
Well, I'm saying that weakness is associated with darkness and confusion and
Judgment and condemnation.
Judgment and condemnation, yes.
Perceives all other things different from itself. Cannot perceive a purpose in letting go and love. Perceives everything is different from itself. This is limited awareness. Hides itself in its limited awareness. And then interesting, the last one's kind of interesting. Dreams that it is strong and conquering, a victor over limitations that only grow in limited awareness to enormous size.
Oh, yeah, arrogance, really.
Yeah, so, I mean, gotta love him, but he's a great example. I've used him a number of times. Donald Trump. All right, look at that enormous ego. So he believes that he's a victor over limitations. Strong and conquering. You know, he's become a billionaire and president and etc. But because it's all ego driven, the limitations only grow to enormous size. And now he's facing trial. I think I haven't followed it, but I know he was up for criminal.
Well, he's paid out $5 million. I mean, he was found guilty for sexual harassment or rape last week. Yeah.
Really?
And that I suppose that could escalate somewhere else, but that it was a kind of civil case that was found against.
But the point is, you know, you see these limitations even in you know, a life that he's lived a sort of larger than life type of life, you know, billionaire and president of the United States, and strong and conquering, and you know, there's this persona of like the macho sort of all-conquering businessman. But look at the limitations that grow in limited awareness to enormous size. They're still there.
Yeah. In
his perception, and he's battling. You get the sense that he battles with life. You know, there's a continuous struggle and battle. There's not pure formless awareness, certainly not, and flow. More like, right, you know, there's an opponent to be conquered. That's the mindset. You know, an opponent that must be conquered and overcome.
Yeah.
So then you're always doing battle. I think this is what he's referring to here. So it's the mindset. So you never really overcome the limitations, even if you think you're winning the battles. And temporarily the ego gives you some, you know, supposed victories. The limitations are still there, and they will continue to grow because that's the game you're playing. And sooner or later, you will lose. You look at any grandiose ego, a megalomaniac tyrant like Hitler, or Stalin was also on that level. Saddam Hussein, Mussolini, you know, these kinds of characters who do this. But we've got a modern day one, Putin. You know, they're trying to be the great I am and conquer the world, but you see the limitations growing, and usually they come a cropper. You know, most of them die a sticky death. Mussolini was hanged. Saddam Hussein was killed, wasn't he? Hitler took his own life. I'm not sure what happened to Stalin, but I think he survived to an old age, but he was hated by his people. So, like, it's not a good example, to follow that ego, the ego way. You're not really getting rid of the limitations. There's always going to be the having to conquer and struggle to overcome, and the fear that lies in, well, what if I don't? I'm very vulnerable. Those kinds of people are always fearful. So they have bodyguards, and it's like, well, someone might take me out. So there's no freedom there. Okay. Any other thoughts on number 6? We cannot perceive a purpose in letting go in love. So these kinds of people, very grandiose and arrogant, they wouldn't see a purpose in letting go in love. It serves no purpose in their eyes. They're just like, well, that's all just weak, namby-pamby stuff. The true power lies in the ego and in ego-based thoughts and actions. That's their belief. Seldom goes well. Okay, so moving swiftly on to number 7. This is quite a stick paragraph, so brace yourself.
It fears and it attacks and it hates itself, and darkness covers everything it sees, leaving its dreams as fearful as itself. It fears, attacks, and hates itself, and limited awareness covers everything it perceives, leaving its dreams as fearful as itself. No miracles are here, but only hate. No corrections are here, but only hate. It separates itself from what it sees, while light and strength perceive themselves as one. It separates itself from what it perceives, while true awareness and perceives its own strength. And the light of strength. The light of strength is not the light you see. The true awareness of strength is not the light I see. It does not change and flicker and go out. It does not change and flicker and go out. It does not shift from night to day and back to darkness till the morning comes again. It does not shift from night to day and back to darkness until the morning comes again.
Well, so there's no shifting and changing. He's using night and day as an example of the vacillations of this world. So what else is he saying in paragraph 7?
Well, it hates itself, it fears, it attacks, and it covers everything it perceives and leaves all the dreams fearful as itself. There's no corrections here, but only hate. It separates itself from the true awareness, which is its own strength. True awareness of strength is not the light I see. Well, true awareness does not change and flick and go out like the separate self. It doesn't shift from night to day and so forth. It's just,
constant. So strength, I think there's a clear connection between strength here and constancy. What's permanent and eternal and doesn't change has this natural strength. And the weakness of the ego is that nothing it lasts, nothing it makes will last, including itself. So it's based on weakness because there's no quality of eternity. There's no permanence in anything the ego has made. That's the fundamental difference between truth and illusion. One is permanent, the other one is ephemeral, changing. And that's the difference between strength and weakness. Strength is based on something that's eternal, that will last, that doesn't change. Weakness changes and vacillates all the time.
It's clear.
Right? I'm happy with that. And then he just makes that point to hammer it home. You want to read that, John?
Light and strength is constant, sure as love, forever glad to give itself away, because it cannot give but to itself. The true awareness of strength is constant, sure as perfect love, forever glad to give itself away, because it can only give to itself. No one can ask in vain to share its sight, and none who enters its abode can leave without a miracle before his eyes, and strength and light abiding in his heart. No one can ask in vain to share its perception, and no one who enters its state can leave without a correction in their perception, and strength and pure formless awareness remaining in their hearts.
Yeah, so what's he saying there?
We're saying that when we align with love, when we are right, when we are firmly in our right mind, there is nothing that we cannot actually achieve. We can achieve whatever we truly want to achieve.
Okay, some interesting interpretation of it.
Well, I say truly want to believe, truly want in the sense of in alignment.
Oh. Even without a correction in their perception, strength. Oh, so it restores us to our true awareness. Strength and true awareness is a reflection of pure formless awareness. That's why I use the terms interchangeably for light. True awareness is perceptual, so true awareness would be Christ looking down on the. I haven't got that up yet. Let's just look. See, true Holy Trinity. It's demonstrated in this diagram quite nicely. So your true awareness is this: Christ's vision, true perception. It's able to look on the world, on the illusions, but interpret them from the perspective of the one self and the oneness that gives the one self its identity. So true awareness is looking on level 2, but from a level 1 perspective. And pure formless awareness is just level 1. There's no perception in pure formless awareness. So I've called both of them light, but this is like the reflection of the light, or probably a better word would be extension. It's an extension of the light. But that light can now be used to change our minds and perceive the world correctly. So true awareness operates here in this space, and pure formless awareness is at the top level, beyond perception.
It's
Okay.
right. I don't know why it keeps coming to my mind, but we've just had local council elections in the UK, and where we live has for the first, it's the first council in actually in the Northern Hemisphere to have a majority green vote.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only other council in the world that has a majority green vote is a suburb of Melbourne.
Oh, okay.
And Mid Suffolk has gone green. You know, it's got a very substantial green majority.
Oh, okay.
And
What's the connection to the lesson?
it's this strength and truth. I can see a lot of it. It feels like it's really quite exciting at a local level, because suddenly you have a lot more truth in local government than has ever been before, you know. And I think there's something like 16 councillors now who are green. I know actually 5 of them.
The same party or different?
Yeah, they're all Green Party. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, there's something like 28 seats and 16 of them are green. They've got a clear majority.
Yeah.
And I know probably at least 5 of them, and they're all really good people.
I guess you don't join the Green Party unless you care about the environment, and not just about your own pocket.
Yeah, it's this connection with community though, which I think is coming through, which has suddenly come through. So I think it's the strength, and it's the connection between strength and clarity that's
nice.
coming through.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for sharing that. So, Elaine, you want to read the last paragraph, and then I think we go into some practice. So I'll take you into a meditation on that. So read the number 9.
The strength in you will offer you the light and guide your seeing, so you do not dwell on idle shadows that the body's eyes provide for self-deception. The strength in me will offer me pure formless awareness and guide my perception, so I do not dwell on false appearances that the body's eyes provide for self-deception. Strength and light.
Those issues, kittens and losing cats and tax, it's all shadows that he's talking about. False appearances that the body's eyes provide, really just to deceive you, to try and convince you that you are a separate self. You really are a body and a separate self, and affected by these issues.
Yes. Yeah, but you can still do what's needed, but not get wrapped up in it. Yeah,
it's exactly why he's giving us these lessons. He's saying, well, go into the true awareness, find the strength that is permanent and eternal. It's beyond all these illusions, and then perceive them correctly, and then you should feel inspired, guided, helped to act in the appropriate way.
Yeah,
it's not coming from a position of weakness and fear and lack and limitation and scarcity, where you've connected with the true strength in you. And with that strength, you can handle anything, because you have a miraculous power that can help you to really solve problems on another level in this world.
Yeah.
So just remember that, go into the strength, ask for the guidance, and it will be there. It will come.
Yeah. Strength and light unite in you, and where they meet, yourself stands ready to embrace you as its own. Strength and pure formless awareness unite in me, and where they meet, myself stands ready to embrace me as its own. Yeah. Such is the meeting place we try today to find and rest in, for the peace of God is where yourself, his Son, is waiting now to meet itself again and be as one. Such is the meeting place I find and rest in today, for the peace of pure formless awareness is where myself, its extension, is waiting now to meet itself again and be as one.
Okay, any thoughts on that?
Well, here and now, if we can see here and now, this is where our strength is and where we'll unite, and it'll guide us all in to a place of strength, and all the answers are there, and it's here now, isn't it? Right now, there's the strength.
Yeah,
Standing there, ready,
in your
standing.
own mind, in your own self. And he's saying you can go and you can meet it in this meeting place. There you meet. Your true self unites with strength, and you come to know that really you can handle anything in this world, whatever disasters and chaos that the ego can spin. You have this deeper strength that can overlook it and know that irrespective, you are okay, because you're still connected to your source. You're still yourself. You see, nothing's really changed. You're still yourself, irrespective of the appearances that are going on around you. That's the essential teaching,
Which we all understand, but it's that putting it into practice.
yeah, intellectually, oh yes, I get it when things are nice and calm and smooth, but when stuff
the
goes
rubber
wrong
hits the road,
and you're being tested, then not so easy to stay in the calm, centered, strong self and not be swayed by the illusions.
Yeah.
So he's given us this lesson to help us connect with that true self and the strength that is the same. It comes from the same source. Okay, any other comments or questions on that lesson? Otherwise, let's go into a meditation. Happy with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Making yourselves comfortable. Sitting in your favorite meditation posture, feet shoulder width apart, back straight, cup your hands in your lap, close your eyes. And start off by taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. So you breathe in. And notice how the stomach rises and the chest rises and the subtle flow of air in through the nostrils. Clench the sphincter muscle to lock the energy in. Draw the energy up the spine into your heart center. Draw it up into the crown of your head. Pausing at the top of the inhale. It's a maximal inhale breath. Smile. And so you scan your mind. Let's look for any thoughts of weakness in any form. So sickness, thoughts of aging, sickness, death. Maybe you think you can't handle a situation in your life at the moment. Feel overwhelmed, you feel fearful, anxious, upset, angry, frustrated by anything. Just notice all of that. Breathe it in. So it's a nice deep inhale breath. And just bring yourself into yourself, your true self. This is where strength lies. This is where your true awareness lies, in which the gift of true perception is given to you. So say in the first person to yourself, therefore I leave my limited awareness a little while. just lay it aside, let it go for the next 15 odd minutes, and practice perceiving in true awareness. Your eyes are closed and you're asking truth to show you how to find a meeting place of self and self. So small self and capital self. Because the way the little self gives way to the awareness of your true self, capital self, where true awareness and strength are one. So exhale. And have a sense of just letting go, releasing any darkness, any limited awareness. As a black smoke out of your mouth, it's leaving you going, gone. Pull the lower stomach into the spine, expel the last remaining air out. And you just rest in this deep peace and stillness. Hey, trying to feel the strength in you, experientially, going deeper into your mind. Let your awareness drift inwards. Just watching your breath. There's a breath flowing in and out through your nostrils. As you do this, so just set that in motion, breathing in and out through your nostrils and letting the breath happen to you, through you, and for you. So there's really nowhere else to go. There's nothing else to do, nothing else to think about. Just breathe, relax, be still, and surrender into the stillness. The light that you are, the strength that you are. Nowhere else to go, nothing else to do, nothing else to think about for the next couple of minutes. Just breathe in and out through your nose, relax, be still. And experience the strength that is within you. So miracles or corrections are seen in light, in my true awareness. And my true awareness and strength are one. My true awareness is the source of my strength. And then let go of all concepts and ideas, beliefs. Let go of the need for the lesson and just surrender inwards, go inwards to a state of mind that is completely transcendent, that is far higher or deeper than your normal awareness. In that, feel the strength. You might want to put one hand on your heart, just connect with your heart space, drop your attention, your awareness down into your heart. That's the source of your strength. That's where the truth lies. So feel into that, breathe into that, surrender to it, and just for the next couple of minutes of deep silence, be in the light and realize that the light of your true awareness and your strength are one. The next 2 minutes of deep silence. So just coming back gently from this deep awareness, bring some of your attention back into the body and the breath and the senses in the world. And on the count of 3, you're going to open your eyes. So 1, just breathing in, noticing how the stomach rises and the chest rises, and the subtle flow of air in through the nostrils. Just pausing at the top of the inhale, smile. Scan your mind, look for any darkness, limited awareness, weakness, fear, thoughts, anxiety, frustration, irritation, anger, anything like that. Breathe into it. Remind yourself of today's lesson that miracles or corrections are seen or perceived in light, true awareness. My true awareness and my strength are one. Light and strength are one. So my true awareness, my true strength, my ability to handle any problems, difficulties, challenges, situations at all in my life lies within me right now. So there's no need to worry, there's no need to fear, there's no need to stress at all. Just blow out any of those thoughts and emotions, letting it go like black smoke out of your mouth. The count of 2, just notice how that air is flowing out, the chest and the stomach suck back in. Pull the lower stomach into the spine. Notice the weight of your body pressing down into the chair, your feet touching the ground, noticing what you're feeling with your hands and touching. Maybe there's a subtle taste in your mouth, smell in your nose. And notice what you're hearing in the surrounding environment. Just noticing all these things from this very still, calm, and surrendered state of mind. It's going to be very present. Stay in this very present state for the rest of the afternoon and evening, and use today's lesson to help you do that. You can practice it frequently, ideally every hour, by listening to one of the breath breaks. The breath break I sent you, it's just a few minutes, or you can follow the instructions, put in the text message and email for today. So just practice well, set the intention to stay connected to your true awareness and the light, which is your strength. So it is said, so it is done. And now on the count of 3, you're going to open your eyes. So just take a minute to look around, noticing everything from this clear perspective of light and true awareness. And set the intention to stay rooted in that awareness, no matter what seems to happen for the rest of the day. Said use the lesson to top you up frequently. If you find you're losing that connection, just use the lesson and the breath break, it's only a few minutes to reconnect. So that brings us to the end of the meditation and the afternoon session. We're going to do 2 sessions today. So join us later if you can at 6:30 your time, 6:30 UK time, 7:30 SA time. We'll have a look at the text for today. So John, Elaine, can you join later?
Yeah.
I should be there. What text is it, John?
It's section 6 of chapter 12, called the Vision of Christ. So I will
Okay.
we'll go through it. I've kind of created something so I can send it out quickly if you like. Okay, so have a read of it before if you can.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. See you all later. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. See you later.
Okay. See you later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Cheers, Elaine.
Bye,
Thanks,
John. Bye.
Okay. Bye.